Alright YouTube, so we're putting the baseline overland roof rack on my 2015 to 2020 Tahoe. And here's the first steps. So these are gonna go directly onto your roof. First, your rubber mallet, then your first bracket with rubber side facing down. And this will be facing outboard. I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like. All right, so this is how they all are, all facing outboard. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I did, those are the M6 1 by 40 millimeters, and then I reused that washer that I had used previously in my other video. It's all the way underneath this, so it's sitting against the truck bed just to have that seal. I'm also going to be using the gasket material to put underneath it, just so it has a good seal underneath that. And then I'm just reusing what I had before from my other roof rack right here. Right there. So right now they're just hand tightened. I'll show you what's next. Okay, next we have these button socket caps. I believe there's supposed to be 48 in them, but what they do is they'll plug in right into the side of your roof rack right here. So you have 1, 2, and they go like that all down the side. So these little slots are made so you can slide these back and forth. And like me, I'll have my my sunroof right here. So once I do assemble it on the ground, I'm gonna get it up there, and if I need to adjust from there, I'll do so. Because right now I'm just hand tightening everything. And then that's what the other side looks like, not assembled. All right, so I got both sides put together. And then what I'm gonna be doing is putting it on up and over the side of the truck with the ladder. And then I'm gonna set it on top. And then I'm gonna have one person on one side, one person on the other, and we're gonna rotate it because we already have it fully assembled. If it's only you, I recommend just putting it up there by piece by piece, because this won't be possible for one person without scratching anything. And I'll be putting the front face on it last, just because I don't need the extra weight toppling it over. Okay, so on this next step, now the roof rack is up here, but it is not attached yet. So you're gonna use those same button bolts and these nuts. There should be 12 of them. They're gonna go through this tiny hole, through your attachment on the roof, and that's how it's going to be held on both sides with all those little holes. And we're not tightening anything down yet, we're just hand tightening it. Okay, so if you saw my roof rack that I removed video earlier, I'm doing the same exact thing. All I'm doing is I'm sticking that washer down in there first. I'm applying the gasket maker oil resistant, and then I'm gonna put a little bit on the top of the bolt just to give it that extra seal and extra cushion. And then I'm gonna apply the Loctite to the bolt, and I'm just gonna tighten her down. I'm pretty much finished with everything. I just need to put that front face on and tighten everything down, so that's what I'm doing. All right, so we got the Loctite on and some of that gasket sealer. And then all it is that washer, one of those 10 washers that's provided, goes on top, and you just tighten her down. I didn't do anything too crazy. I just made it very snug. You can see that rubber, how it's just smushed in there. It's perfect. All right, so we're on to our next step. All we're doing now is these brackets that we fixed on there. So what I did to level it out is I got a good enough gap. You can set your gap at whatever you want to because there is different heights. On the other side, you can see it for the brackets, but all I did was set cardboard in there. I set it on all four corners. And then all you need to do is put your Loctite on right here, and then put your washer on, and then your lock nut last. And then just tighten her up. So on to the next step, that front plate that goes on the very front of your roof rack. I found that the best way to take care of it is to take off that first rail that's on there, and then what you do is these guys, you might as well just line up the first ones and try to finagle those ones in. I did use Loctite, but I made them pretty snug. And then with the ones on the side, I stuck my Allen wrench through the hole, and then you can see that the rail is still on the side, so you can still slide them in through the side. But what you do is you stick that Allen wrench through there and you slide it in, you tilt it, and then it'll stop it in place, and you just do one at a time. Just kind of finger the hole in there, and then you try to get that bolt in there and just tighten her down. So kind of a tedious process, but it's a lot easier to take it down, like I said. And then I just need to do this last one on the edge, and then I'm just gonna pop it back up there and then Loctite each side and go from there and do the rest. Okay, so what I did is I put one bolt through on one side, tightened it down, came to the other side, tightened the other one down, and then put the other two in. From here, I'm just gonna take these out, put some Loctite on them, put their washers on them, and then make sure they're set, because they do slide back and forth. Make sure they're set where you want them. I have mine pretty evenly spaced. I'll probably space them out a little bit more evenly, but then I'm just gonna lock them down. So this is the last step. All right, so I got everything bolted together and Loctited in. So it took about 5 hours. Wasn't so bad, just ran into a couple hiccups, but it honestly shouldn't take any more than 3. There she is, she sits well. Seems super sturdy. Love that look.